24 hours to respond. That means if it comes in a P1, it's an emergency. Something important is going on. P2 is 48 hours, and a P3 is 3 business days. So if we get a P3 on Friday, it has to be on Tuesday. And of course, in Jefferson County, we have court on Tuesday. I see a young lady up there, intern in court, and she knows the court's a long days on Tuesday. So, so Monday's always crazy. Everybody always has a crazy Monday. Monday, you're picking up what went on over the weekend with the on-call people. We go on call on rotation. Right now, we go on call every 5 weeks. We're on call from Tuesday to Tuesday, 24 hours a day. And there's been a lot of times I've got paged out 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and have to go to Children's Hospital. And I live in Cotton County, so I'm mad from Cotton County to Knoxville. And then we get down there, a lot of times you think, well, they've blown this out of proportion. You get down there, it's something bad. I'm going to tell you the story on that. I got paged out, it was probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. Children's Hospital said the child's there here in bad shape, and y'all need to come down here. They said, we're calling the intake right now, and we didn't have you paged. Went down a 13-month-old, weighed 14 pounds. Had a broken left leg. And we thought it was cigarette burns at first on the back of his head. Turned out to be a yeast infection where he's laid in his car seat. The reason his leg was broke, his mom tied his legs together and strapped him in the car seat. So he wouldn't bother nobody. They fed him when they wanted to. We put that child in custody. The last I heard, that child was adopted. When I worked in Hamilton County for a couple of years before I come over to Jefferson. Hamilton County has a large Hispanic population. One of their forms of punishment is to burn. I worked a case where if the kids got in trouble, the parents would put a skillet on the stove and make the kids lay their hand in the skillet. And I don't know if y'all are from here. About 3 or 4 years ago, there was a broadcast on the news coming out. It was a couple days before Christmas that 2 kids have been found in Ingalls in Marshtown. Well, the CPS worker got paged out, went out on it. They took the kids. One of the kids had a bruise on his face. They took both of them to the doctor and had them checked out. Once they stripped them down, they had whip marks all over the body. Parents had been whipping them with a TV cable. They got to looking a little bit more, and they had burns all over them. The mom had been putting spoons on the stove line until they got red hot and stick them to the kid. She is doing 15 years in the penitentiary right now for that. And the father, I believe he got like 5 or 6 years for it. He wasn't the aggressor, but he knew it was going on. Under Tennessee law, if you suspect abuse, you have to report it. If you don't report it, you can be punished by law. I believe it's a Class A misdemeanor, which means you can go up to 11 months, 29 days in jail. Nobody wants to go to jail. There's also a law people call in for retaliation. I'm mad at you, so I call in on you. Or you're mad at me, you call in on me. If I called in on you and said you were sexually abusing your children, I can be prosecuted. It's a Class E felony. I can do it for 2 years in prison for it. Because it's the same thing as making a false report to police. But does everybody know what a TCA code is? It's the Tennessee Code of Annotated. It's our state laws. Tennessee TCA Code 31-1-403 mandates that any person having knowledge or called upon to render aid to any child who is suffering from or has sustained any wounds, injuries, disabilities, or physical or mental conditions, which of such a nature, which is all in your little handout, so y'all can read it here a little bit. I'm just going to hit the highlights. Y'all have to call it in, basically. If you suspect abuse, you have to call it. Now, I don't know what kind of setting you're all wanting to go into later on. But if you see a kid come in with bruises on them, if it's something besides the bruises on the shin a normal little kid's going to get, or they got bruises on their face, head, black eye, whatever, ask them what happened. Because one reason we ask is that you ask them what happens so we can kind of pinpoint a perpetrator. Perpetrator, it's a broad word. When our reports come in, we got victims and perpetrators. Our perpetrator is the person that's alleged to have done it. And what I tell people when he comes in is we have allegations. Allegations are just what somebody said. It's our job to prove it's right or wrong. And you better believe, and one of my specialties is drug cases. Last summer, I like to joke, every time I had a suit on, I was in the woods looking for marijuana in the middle, in 100 degrees. And there's a lot of times we found it growing. People start getting smart and they grow up buckets in their basement now. But marijuana, we don't look at it as that big of a deal anymore. We still make them, we give them a plan to work. It's called a non-custodial pain plan. We don't take people to court for marijuana anymore. They'll have to have an alcohol and drug assessment, see what the recommendations are. Even on the alcohol and drug assessments anymore, with marijuana, they'll tell them they have to do random drug screens. Pills is becoming an epidemic now. I'm sure y'all see on TV about the pills. Everybody runs to Florida to the pain clinics now and gets their pills. And what a lot of the dope dealers is doing is I'll load this whole roll up and go with me, and I'll make a deal with you. Just gonna give me so many of your pills when we get back to Tennessee. I'm gonna pay you way, I'm gonna pay for the doctor. And when we get back to Tennessee, because we're not violating any federal laws, because we cross the state lines with your pills intact. You give me your pills, I'm gonna sell them. Oxys and Roxys are getting big. They're worth $1 a milligram on the street, which that's $30 a pill for a 30 milligram. You got 500 or 600 of them, y'all do the math. That's a lot of money. Now I'm gonna load y'all once a month to do that. I don't care a bit to spend $1,000 on you to go to Florida and back, because I'm gonna make $4,000 or $5,000 off your medication. Xanax, everybody know what Xanax is? Or you heard them called totem poles? Now they got the 4 little bars. People hit the bars and then they'll shoot and snort and everything else with the Roxys. One thing I'm good at is I can talk to people, especially sit down one-on-one with somebody. I've danced around for an hour talking to it. I call them dope heads. I know it's not the right way to say it, but I've sat around, I've danced around with them, and they finally tell me what's going on. I had a case that I took for a courtesy out of Hamlin County a couple of weeks ago. 3-month-old dislocated shoulder. Mama tells the hospital that the baby fell off the couch, rolled up. Anybody's got kids, a 3-month-old ain't rolling over too many times. She finally told me what happened. Me and her talked. Brag on myself a little bit. I've been trained in interrogations and investigations. I've been trained to look at people's eyes. Got to read their eyes when I talk to them. Read the way they move their head. And cue words. One thing people will do if they're guilty is they'll get mad. Or they'll be extremely nice to you. Oh, I want to help you, come on in my house, I'm going to talk to you, you can do anything you want, look around, I've got all this stuff. And then if they start breaking on their stuff, there's something going on. If you knock on the door and say, hey, it's DCS, I've got all kinds of food in here, my kids have got a bed, my house is clean. Well, we ain't hear about that, we need to talk to you about something else. Well, I'm a lawyer. Of course, they lawyer up, we have to back down a little bit. And one thing we got drug screens, we got field screens, and I joke that I handle more urine than I do paperwork. Because I probably get 15 to 20 drug screens a week. And I've had people do a lot of things, dip them in water, try to put bleach in them and everything else. One thing, of course, I've got gloves on when I'm touching this stuff. One thing I don't care to do, I don't care to stick my finger in it and see if it's warm or not. We had a meth case, a lady kept telling us, she said, okay, I'll tell you. Of course, I can't go to the bathroom with a female. But she come back out with my cup, and it was clear as water. I said, well, it's not reading on temperature. She said, that's mine. So I stick my finger in it, and I said, nope, it's cold. Nope, that's mine. I said, no. I was like, unless you're dead, you're not going to give me cold urine. She said, okay, I'll give you another. So we have her go up to the sheriff's department. We have a jailer watch her. Of course, females, they can get away with a little bit more stuff than a man can as far as a drug screen. She dips in the water a little bit and then pees in it. It's enough to dilute the urine.